Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
One of the staff members looked to him and said, "Hey, I know you can fight. If people burst through this door, we're going to do our best to protect you, but if we go down, you're going to have to fight survival."
That message told to this man's 11-year-old son, a patient there for help.
Put your hands on top of your head!
It was the active shooter drill inside the state-run child psychiatric hospital that got national attention.
Did you guys know it was a drill?
Oh, no. New tonight, the state agrees to pay patients and staff in a $13 million class action lawsuit. Results after our triggering fear and confusion investigation. The multi-million-dollar settlement just announced goes to help children and staff who were traumatized by that unannounced active shooter drill.
Local 4 investigators first exposed this story 14 months ago. This happened at the Hawthorne Center, which is a state-run psychiatric hospital for children in Northville Township.
So we bring in our Local 4 investigator, Karen Drew, who broke this story, and now with this breaking development on it.
Yeah, Devin and Kim, $13 million. We're talking about a major settlement here that can help these traumatized patients. So many are asking, what was the state thinking when it conducted this drill? Now remember, we're talking about hospitalized children with mental health issues. And someone thought it was a good idea to tell them 2 gunmen were on the loose inside their facility, when in reality, it was just a drill.
I wish they would come out and say that they were actually wrong, but $13 million is a large sum of money. And even if they don't say they're wrong, I think there's a pretty big implication there that they did something and they needed to make it right.
David Horian reacting to news of the settlement. His 11-year-old son was a patient at the child psych hospital.
Can you tell me what's going on?
Keep the line open.
Put your hands on top of your head!
When that unannounced active shooter drill went down.
Is this a drill?
Those inside thought it was real. They say they were terrified.
Did you guys know it was a drill?
Oh, no.
Dylan is struggling. Dylan is autistic, among other diagnoses. He's still struggling. We're still trying to seek to get him more care.
I hope, for starters, that it teaches a really solid lesson to everyone that you do not scare people like that. It's all too real.
In the settlement, the state agrees to pay $13 million to resolve all claims raised from the December 21st, 2022 incident. Money will go to the 50 patients and 110 employees. The state admits to no wrongdoing.
This is a children's psychiatric hospital, and the idea that somebody would think it was even remotely a good idea to run a drill that would go to the deepest fears any of us have with impressionable children who already have psychiatric and neurological disabilities and scare them to death.
Included in the suit, the hospital employee who was told by supervisors to get on the speaker and tell everyone there were 2 gunmen in the hospital when there were not.
And I've spoken with her, and she said, I tried to say, are you sure this is a good idea? But she was ordered to do this. And she was so afraid. And that fear in her voice sounded so real.
You did fine, okay? I'm sorry that was happening.
And the message to the state of Michigan from you?
I would really like to see the people who made this decision held accountable, more so than just a dollar figure.
So each patient will be getting $57,000. A legal team has been set up to make sure that the funds are dispersed appropriately. Remember, many of these patients are special needs, and the money is needed to help them with continual care after this incident. Now, there is the other side to the story, the staff that worked there that had to hide from the alleged gunman. I got the chance to sit down and talk with one of the mental health workers, Naquana Jones. She walked us through what happened that day.
So I'm thinking, how am I going to get out of here? And I was just thinking I'm going to take this office chair and bust this window and jump out the window. So with them saying it, they said it again, and it was like, it's 1 white, 1 black. They got AR-15s. And I was just like, this is real.
Now, that's just the beginning of what she experienced. Naquana's perspective is really so important to hear from what the staff had to go through. She also shares how the state treated her. She's got a lot to say. I think many can really learn from her experience. So here's what we want you to do. Scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen. At that link, you're going to find information on how to watch Naquana's interview, which is dropping right now on Local 4 Plus, along with all of my investigative reports on the incident. Now, that link is also going to take you to the special section that we have dedicated to this story on clickondetroit.com. We're talking about dozens of stories. We've got those 911 calls made that day, the police body cam from the day of the drill. I also posted the settlement that was reached just about 65 minutes ago this afternoon, along with the statement from the state, where, by the way, they say they regret patients and staff were negatively affected by the incident, but admit no wrongdoing. And we've got that all posted there for you.
So settlement, terribly important. But David, the father, in your piece, wants accountability for those who made the decision.
Right, because you don't want this to ever happen again, right? Yeah, and that's the outrageous part. So we did some checking. The manager who actually planned the armed intruder drill, he's still a state employee. He kept his title as physical plant supervisor. We also found out he's been moved. He's now working at the Walter Reuther Psychiatric Hospital. So as you can imagine, so many families are upset because some of those kids from Hawthorne got moved over to Walter Reuther.
Yeah, yep.
The story's not over.
No, it is not, absolutely. All right, Karen.